was struggling today with, all right, what are we going to talk about today? And I thought about, starting to drill down and give you guys more details on RealScout or on Moxie Engage or Moxie Present or one of the modules. And I'm like, I think everybody needs a little bit of a palate cleanser and a little bit of a time to start using the tool, getting adjusted to the tools, starting to get your contacts loaded in. And I'm afraid I don't want to give everybody too much too fast. Okay, so today we'll kind of switch things out a little bit. So the first part of today, what I thought I would do is just open Q&A. Okay, if you have any issues, any concerns, any difficulties with something that you've encountered in a tool that you're using, and migration of something, just wanted to have an open dialogue. If you're having a problem with it, more than likely somebody else is having a problem with it, and we can figure it out. And either we'll figure it out right here, or I'll figure it out and get back to you and show everybody what the problem was and how we fixed it. All right, so with that being said, I would love some input, and Tracy's got her hand in the air. Bring it on, Miss Tracy.
Thank you. Am I unmuted? Yes. Well, what I guess the main thing I'm having an issue with is with Moxie. I had like 500 contacts to import, but it only imported like 190.
And they have some rules in there. If there's missing a piece of information, either a phone number or an email address, it will not import all of them in. And for the import, there is a maximum, I don't know if anybody on here would have this problem, but 2,500 is the maximum number of imports that it will allow in a single thing. So just to give you an idea, the first database I tried to upload had 5,140 some names in it. Didn't like that at all.
So you had to split it up.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
good.
What about anybody else? How's everybody doing on the RealScout so far? Everybody got contacts loaded in?
I'm loading in my contacts, and I actually really like RealScout.
Yeah, I do.
Good. How are you loading your contacts in? Are you just doing them one by one? Are you trying to do an import?
For me, I'm doing it all. I did try to import, but I'm doing it one by one to organize it the way I want to organize it based on the activity and what I want sent. So it just kind of works in my brains better that way.
That's probably smart. I mean, just to give you an idea, what I did is I exported all of my contacts out of FMLS, and then I sent them to RealScout. RealScout imported them in, and now I'm going back through one by one, going, is this an active one? Is this a not active one? Recreating the search for them. If they were a past client, I'll set them up on the market update, or what's the name they use? I can't remember now. They're one for a listing update, market activity report, or whatever it is. Okay. And that seemed to work really well and really efficiently, and probably a lot faster than the hand jamming one by one. And it worked pretty quickly. They had it uploaded within 24 hours from the time I sent it to them, maybe even less, somewhere between 12 and 24 hours. Okay. Everybody else, what other issues? Anybody having any negotiation issues? Any problems on contracts? Remind, Docs Plus, any system out there?
None at the moment.
Everybody's good. I'm loving it. Okay, so what? Then I'm gonna have to. Go ahead. Bring it on, Tippy.
What do you use for schools? I see there are different ones. What is everybody
for like a school resource?
Yeah, I see School Digger, and then I saw the other one I think that everybody uses, but What do you recommend?
School Digger is the one that I'm probably most familiar with. There was another one, and I'd have to look on my bookmarks to be able to
Great.
tell you.
Is it Great Schools?
Greatschools.com, I think, has
Something
a
like that.
rating system. Generally speaking, though, school information is one that I don't feel it's my responsibility as a realtor necessarily to provide them school information. That is information that is publicly available. Anybody can get online and search that. If they have an interest, I will point them to those resources, but I'm not necessarily the one going, as I'm showing the house going, well, this is rated a 5 and the one that we're going to next is rated a 3 or whatever.
Well, this one was more, the person was from out of town and came to look
Mhm.
at several places and then didn't like any of those, but wanted to make sure that the ones that were being looked at were in good school districts. And so, yeah,
Sure.
it just became
Okay.
a thing.
Is this like, what they call it?
Understand. I'm going to mute you, Melanie.
Um,
Okay. Anybody else? Again, open dialogue, any topic, any subject, rules. It's all you guys today.
I tried to use the map in RealScout, the map feature. I just couldn't get it to work. Do they have, like, FMLS has
It's little tutorials, video training.
FMLS has a help desk. I called for their map thing and the guy put me on hold forever, but does RealScout have that too, do you know?
I'm sure they have a support section. In fact, I know somebody called them yesterday. Who was it? Pedram, was it you?
Yeah, I called him yesterday.
Yeah, and so did you have good experience with support from them?
Yeah, it wasn't a total walkthrough. It was here's the link and then the process. But I did the integration less than 12 hours.
Oh, great. That's good feedback. You had it too?
Yep, I just got to do the MLS integration and then I got to do the CRM integration.
Okay. And I don't think the CRM integration is turned on yet. That's one of the things I'm working on. One of the big other fixes that is in the works for Moxie Engage, if you haven't figured this out, is for some reason we're not able to select the MLS that we want to use, and that has been problematic because it's all dependent upon the information that is being fed in. We actually got the solution to the problem today, and Dwayne and I are in the process of implementing the solution, and then it's going to take, they said, up to 24 hours for everything to sync, so that your MLS will then be populating into your Moxie Engage, and you'll have all those tools that will now be provisioned because of that feature being turned on. Okay.
Hey Jay, one quick question.
Yeah.
You're probably ahead of most people on this unless they've had it in the past. Will there be like sessions of like group sessions of like how to step by step?
Yes.
Like 15, 30 minute. I mean, I'm not good at the videos and the reading. I'm more of a people person.
Okay. Yes, we will do more little 30-minute snippets like this. As I figure out a feature, I'll probably do a little video on it and just kind of start putting it out there on Workplace. Just, hey, found this cool feature. Here's how it works, so that everybody just becomes more familiar with the tools that we have. Okay.
Awesome, man. I think that'd be awesome. Or, yeah, and if you could like turn them into SOP format, that would save you a lot of time. All right, I'll be quiet.
All right.
One, is it Moxie that has the feature that's like Canva, so that we can make like
Yes.
flyers and all that?
Moxie Impress is the module that will help you with your marketing tools, flyers, brochures, pamphlets, you name it, just sold, just listed, just sold, all of those will work through Moxie Impress.
Okay, and we have that part too already. I know we have the main part, but do we have the Impress yet?
You've got it. It's
Okay.
a lot of the features are not going to work until we fix that MLS connection piece. But that, like I said, that's the part that's the correction that's in the works right now.
Okay.
If you're interested, and if anybody else is having trouble with the map features of RealScout, I think I can probably walk you through it. Is that something that y'all want to take a look at?
Yes, please.
I was just trying to do comps, and so I'm standing at a property trying to show some more comps, and it just in that area, I just couldn't get any of them to work. Then I was having problems with my hotspot, and it was just a mess. But anyway.
Okay, so like within the map, you were trying to use the map to search for comps?
Yeah, I was trying to see how to draw. It's like everybody just draws the little square or whatever on the map, and it just wasn't working for me. And I don't know if it was my computer or
it might be. So let me show you. Like if you're here and you want to look only around Woodstock, well, from this scale, you've only got theoretically one house in all of Woodstock. But if we come up here, here's the tools. You can either use a radius tool, a square tool, or a polygon, which is a freeform shape. So you could, in the simplest one, put your point on Woodstock and come out. And now you've got all of the houses within that radius. Okay, if I wanted to change it, cancel it, delete it. So I just deleted it. Now I wanted to do a more refined search. They only want to be in this subdivision. See how it draws the little dotted lines? So this is where my line is going to be. This is where the next line is going to be. This is where this line is going to be. And then I'm closing the circle. And now it's only really interested in what's inside of there. Does that make sense? Did that help?
Yes. And how do I make sure those are all active?
Well, that's when you come into your filters over here on this side. Hang on, let me see where's the, you got to tell it what you're looking for.
So
Tools, features.
Populate the search first, like normal, then go.
Yes. So put all of your features in here. It's going to give you everything that meets that criteria in all of Metro Atlanta. Then you just want to narrow down the geography of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing now. Okay. Any other issues, questions, concerns?
Jay, it looks like a question came up in the chat box. Sorry.
Okay, what was it? Filter out.
It was from Athena, and it says, is there a way to filter out fixer-uppers or resale in RealScout?
That's
so
one
Jay,
of the
in Matrix, it identifies certain properties as a fixer-upper or just resale. But in RealScout, I can't figure out how to filter those out or pick one or the other, I guess. Do you know if that's an option?
It probably is. Let me explore something here real quick. Okay, hold on just a second. All right, I'm gonna go back. I think what you might have to do is you might have to add additional fields. I think what you're looking for, do you know what category that fixer-upper is? Is it special conditions? When you see it in the MLS? Do you know, Athena, off the top of your head?
I don't know, but I can find them.
Okay, I suspect it is this one, special listing conditions like fixer upper or
Yeah, it's under
um,
condition,
it's under condition or special listing conditions.
just condition in matrix.
All right, it's not as one of these fields. Hang on, let me see. C-U-N-T-I-T-I.
Yeah, I checked there too.
Property condition, right there it is.
Okay, so by clicking that, what is
Okay,
it
so
filtering out then?
okay, so the standard fields that are over here on Remine are the ones that are going to be the most popular, but they're not all of the fields that are available within most MLSs. So that's why you can come down here and add additional fields like basement versus non-basement and things like that. So and we added conditions, which was the property condition. So now if you wanted to,
Oh, I see.
you see how they're there, updated or
Yes.
remodeled or
Yes.
resale or to be built. Now you can
That's what I
filter
was looking
based off
for.
of these.
Thank you.
So if what you're looking for is not here, go to the bottom, add or remove a search option, and it'll give you another field in the MLS criteria to filter on. Okay.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
Anybody else have any little idiosyncrasies and challenges? Okay. All right. So I did want to, I did have some other materials for you guys today, and what I thought we would talk about for the last 13 minutes here is the counteroffer. So I think I taught this several months back, and I've had to help a couple of people in the last couple of weeks in the use of the counteroffer form. Okay, so let's kind of put ourselves in the position, especially for some of the folks that are just brand spanking new on here, that kind of just to kind of get an idea where you're at in the process. You have presented an offer, okay, or an offer has been presented to you, and you either are going to receive, or you could potentially present a counteroffer based off of what feedback that you get from the listing agent. Okay, so you've put an offer in for 400, they come back and give you a verbal for 410. You can either do one of a couple of things. You can either ask the listing agent to submit a counteroffer at that 410, which you can then present to your clients, your buyer clients, or you can present a counteroffer at 410, which is a counteroffer to your original offer. Okay, so you can counteroffer your own offer. To me, it's easier and cleaner to just simply redo the offer, change the terms in the original offer, reobtain your signatures. The dates are going to work out better anyway on the document. Everything looks better when you do that. Okay. So now that we've kind of figured out where we're at in this big picture, is anybody confused about that at all? I had some audio coming on, like somebody was going to ask something, maybe not. Okay. Stand by. I'm going to share my screen and we'll launch into some.
I hate to go back. On the add field feature that we were just talking about.
Yep.
So I'm at the bottom. I added a couple things. I'm not seeing fixer upper.
It may be in one of the other fields, whether it's under conditions or.
It was in
It's
that one
under
page. It
conditions.
says fixer.
Yeah.
The very
Yeah.
first option.
Was
Just
it?
fixer. Fixer.
So down on the very bottom right, add remove. I don't see fixer on there.
You've got to look for conditions.
Not fixer. You're looking for conditions, property conditions. and then it'll be, and fixer upper resale to be built will be one of the options within there.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, stand by, sharing my screen again. Oh, shared the wrong screen. Stand by. All right, everybody looking at the GAR counteroffer form?
No, not yet. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Well,
There it is. Okay,
it's counteroffer.
there we go. Thank you. All right, so here is the GAR counteroffer form. It is the F249. It is the counteroffer or modification of an unaccepted original offer. If you have already gone binding, do you ever do a counteroffer? That's a question.
No.
No. What would you do instead of a counteroffer on an offer that is already binding?
A new offer?
An amendment.
An amendment.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Thing.
An amendment. Exactly. Okay. I can't believe I had to say that, but I actually had to clarify that to somebody the other day. Do we do a counteroffer for an offer? I'm like, you're already under contract? Yeah, 3 days ago. No, you do an amendment. If you're changing anything, you do an amendment. All right, so this is the front of the form. We're going to dive into greater detail in each section of this. These are the most important parts on here. Paragraph A, the party making this counteroffer acknowledges that in doing so, 1, it constitutes a rejection of the original offer as presented and all previous counter offers. It's important to listen to that very clearly. When you submit a counter offer, it is rejecting the previous offer. After you have submitted a counter offer, can you go back and accept the original offer?
No.
No.
No, you theoretically cannot, because you have already rejected it by the very virtue of that first one. If you have previously submitted 3 counter offers, and you're now submitting a 4th, do 1, 2, and 3 still count?
No.
Correct. And that is exactly what is stated right there. It is a rejection of the previous offers and all previous counteroffers. Okay, so counteroffers are not cumulative in nature. It's not, well, they wanted this and we want this also, so we're doing a counteroffer to their counteroffer. No. A counteroffer is all of the provisions that you want changed in it, not those plus the previous counteroffer. Okay. Item number 2 is the original offer and all previous offers are no longer available for acceptance. We already answered that. And 3, no previous counteroffer shall be considered a part of any agreement between the parties. And 4, nothing requires the other party to continue the negotiations. They can just stop. They cannot respond. All right. Paragraph E tells you how to fill this form out. Basically, the following items and conditions of the original offer are modified as follows. Okay. And then it's important to read the sections not filled in or marked NC for no change. Shall mean that there is no change is being proposed, that the section in that section of the agreement, and that the original will reign. So whatever is, like if you put in the counteroffer, no change on the closing cost, then whatever is in that field on the original offer, that's going to rule, as opposed to this counteroffer. Okay, so in this case, almost nothing changed with the exception of the purchase price. The purchase price, and we refreshed the time limit on the counteroffer date and usually extended that another 24 to 48 hours from whenever the original offer was received. Okay.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
I don't believe I've ever drafted a counter. I've always just got a new contract. I've gotten counters and I'll deal with it if I need to, but why would you use a counter instead of just a clean contract? It's already
It all just kind of depends on how your co-op agent works. Sometimes people like everything in writing, and they won't even call you. They'll just submit you a piece of paper. I agree with you. My ideal way of doing it is a fresh, clean offer. But I'm going to show you a way to get a fresh, clean offer, even if you've used 26 counter offers in the process of your negotiations. And I'll show you that right at the end of this. Okay. So if you had any other special stipulations or anything that is being changed, you would also include that on page 2. So here would be anything like you're changing, your financing contingency or something that is not right here in this part of the original document. Okay, so you would write a special stip to cover that. And then of course you've got the signature page, and at the bottom of the counteroffer form you have a binding agreement date. Just like, and it appears almost exactly the same as what you would have at the bottom of your purchase and sale agreement. So if you have an offer that has a counteroffer involved, the binding agreement date is put on the counteroffer, not on the original purchase and sale agreement. Okay. The attached purchase and sale agreement that goes right behind your counteroffer does not have any of your clients' signatures and initials. Let's review. What do clients' signatures and initials signify?
There's been a change made.
That's true, but what is it? What does it technically signify?
It's been acknowledged.
It's acceptance and acknowledgement. It's acknowledgements and acceptance. You have a meeting of the minds. So if you have initials right next to the page, right next to this with the 220 price point, that means that everybody has acknowledged that change and has agreed upon it. You have a meeting of the minds. So if you had signatures and initials on the purchase and sale agreement that has a counteroffer in front of it, your client signatures and initials might signify that they agree with what's in the purchase and sale agreement at 250 instead of on the counteroffer at 220, right? Okay. So the binding agreement date is only filled on the counteroffer, not on the purchase and sale agreement. You can, however, the accompanying exhibits that get submitted with the purchase and sale agreement could, and I contend should be signed and initialed. You're only waiting on until after, if you wait till after binding, it just creates an additional administrative burden to have to send it back through for signatures and initials one more time. Does that make sense? I hope so.
Yes.
And then once you complete this, you combine the counteroffer, the purchase and sale, and all the exhibits into a single PDF prior to returning it to the co-op. Okay, so that just keeps everything in one single PDF. Your co-op agent will love you. It'll make it easier for them to get their client to sign on the counteroffer and initial everything, and then they can bind it, or you can bind it, whichever direction it happens to be flowing. All right, and the last little trick that I'm going to show you, and this goes to Pedram's comment earlier about clean copies. I agree with you that if you start making pen and ink changes or strike throughs and initials on documents and counteroffers, you can do what is called a conforming copy. So this paragraph D, I think this is in the purchase and sale agreement. And this is when you have been going back and forth and there may be initials and things that have changed. You can do what's called a conforming or a clean copy of the agreement, combining the original terms of the original offer with the controlling and supplemental provisions of this counteroffer into one document. And it's simply a new document with everybody's signatures, and it also includes this little special stipulation that says buyer and seller acknowledge that the above agreement is a conforming copy of the agreement between the parties dated whatever the date is. In the event of any conflict between the conforming agreement and the original thereof, all parties agree that the original agreement shall control. Okay, so it's just a little bit cleaner way of recording that and making sure that there's no confusion whatsoever with all of the things that can happen in the back and forth between contracts and changes. Does anybody have any questions about that? Bring it on. Well, I must have done a great job of explaining it then, huh? All right, everybody, that's all I got for you today. We're 2 minutes over. Apologize for the delay. If anybody has any challenges, any questions, any concerns, you know how to get a hold of me. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.